In this session, we're going to talk about active reading. We'll cover what active reading means, so when you're doing your readings, what should you be doing. We'll cover a specific approach that you should take, and that will be the SQ or NR approach while you're doing your reading. We'll reflect on your own reading style, and we'll talk about the process of taking notes while you're doing your reading. So what do you consider to be the most important characteristics of a good reader? What do you think about when you picture a good reader, somebody who's good at reading? What are you talking about? Are you talking about the speed of their reading? Can they read very quickly? Is that important? Are you talking about the fluency of their reading? And what we mean by fluency is that they can read relatively quickly, they understand what they're reading, they don't stumble on any words, and then understanding. So have they understood everything, or do they need to reread? Now really the most important thing there is understanding. So you might think that somebody who reads very quickly is a good reader, but what's most important is that they're taking in the material that they read. So somebody who reads quickly often is only kind of getting a gist or the main point rather than actually understanding everything that they read. So the main objective for you as a reader is that you understand everything that you read, whether that means you have to read back over it, you have to read it 2 or 3 times, and whatever strategies you need to employ, whether it's that you're looking up the words that you don't understand, compiling a dictionary for yourself or a list of common terms, that's usually a good idea. But your main objective really is that you're understanding the material that you read and processing it. So the first thing you want to do if you get a piece of reading is the initial flick through approach. So you're just understanding the structure or the basic sense of the text. So if it's a book, you might want to look at what the chapter titles are. If it's an article, you're just looking at to see if there's subheadings throughout the article, but you're just trying to get a basic sense of it. Rapid scanning means you just look through it very quickly, or skim reading, they're similar things. So just looking through a piece of reading very quickly to get that basic sense. And that's only the first step of the reading process. That you shouldn't rely on that really as a reader. So the approach I mentioned earlier then, the SQ or NR approach. So the first thing you do then is survey the text, and that's what we've just talked about. So you skim read, you go back over, just have a quick look, get your basic sense of the text. The next thing is you come up with questions. So what are the questions you want to answer through this reading? And often in class you'll be reading for a specific purpose, whether it's reading to prepare for a different topic, or you might be reading to prepare for an assignment or an essay or a presentation. So you should have a list of questions that you want to answer through reading, and that will help you to stay focused on the piece of reading itself. Then you'll do the actual reading. So you read through, and as you read you take notes. So you're taking notes based on the questions you've come up with. So again, they're very focused notes, and you're jotting down any of the key points, the key ideas that you think are relevant for your particular questions. And then the last step then is to revise. So you go back over, you make sure you've answered all of the questions, ensure you haven't missed anything, that you're happy with the notes that you've taken, that they have everything that you need. So this is a good approach, particularly for reading for assignments, reading around a specific topic. So when you make notes as you read, you want to write down the key points, you want to reword the information, you don't want to just take quotes if possible. So rather than just underlining or highlighting, which is a popular technique that people use, you're actually reprocessing the information, making sure that you understand the information. And that goes back to the point we made earlier about that really being the key process in reading, is understanding the material. So reprocessing the information simply means that you're rewording it, that you make sure you understand it and that you can put it into your own words, whether that's bullet points, keywords, whatever it would be. If you do take a quote, then you should make sure you include the reference, the bibliographic reference, which really just means the name of the text. You should have that on the top of your page, and then you put the page number, so that if you were to use that quote in an essay again later, you would know exactly where it came from. It also makes sure that you don't confuse your words with the exact words in your readings. And you can use quotation marks as well for those direct quotes. So in summary then, we've talked about making sure that you understand your readings, and that's the key point. Reading quickly is great, but the most important thing is that you understand your readings and you're getting something from them. And the reading process really is active, it's not passive. You should expect to sit down, not just with the book in front of you, but also with a pen and paper and your list of questions. It's a process that you need to go through rather than just a passive act. And that you should aim to take some really useful notes in your reading. So you should be able to look back afterwards and rely on your notes rather than having to do the piece of reading again at a later date.